How's it going, everyone? Jude here from LMR.com. Today we're going to be installing the deck lid trim panel designed for 2024 and up S650 Mustangs. This kit doesn't require any sort of drilling or anything into the car. All of this is going to be straight stick-on when it comes to installing this piece. If you want to do this with the emblem or without the emblem, that is optional. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the actual video. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the install. So before I actually begin doing the full install, what I'm going to do is kind of run through everything that comes with the Ford deck lid panel. Obviously, you're going to get the actual deck lid panel. You'll also receive a instruction manual. Being that this is provided by Ford, highly recommend using this as well if you're watching this video. It'll also make things a lot easier when doing this install. You're also going to get the 3M decal adhesion for either the GT or the Pony, so that's going to depend on the car that you have. Obviously, we're working with our GT, so we're going to be only using this today, but it's pretty much the same as that way if you have the Pony as well. Also, you will receive the blackout holes. You're going to get two. This is going to go around the actual reverse camera. This helps once you put the deck lid panel on the car. The opening on the deck lid panel is a little bit bigger, so you will see color, but once you put this on, it'll help block it out. You're gonna get the 3M adhesion promoter and then 2 sets of the alcohol wipes for cleaning the surface, and then the grease pen. We're gonna be using a silver Sharpie. Anything that you can use to help mark where you're gonna be drilling, as long as it's visible, you'll be good to go. That's everything that's gonna come with the actual kit. Moving over to what we're going to be using ourselves, we're gonna have a heat gun. Again, the Sharpie for marking. On top of all of that, you're gonna want drill bits. I'm gonna be using a smaller one to help at least start the process of drilling. Obviously, measure twice, cut once, then move to the 7/16 drill bit. This is gonna be the final one, drill the hole, and that's where you'll stop. Obviously, you're gonna need your drill as well. We also have some denatured alcohol. This is gonna help with cleaning the actual mating surface on the car. A couple squeegee pads and a microfiber cloth. Now we got all that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the GT badge. Before I actually remove it, I'm gonna heat it up with a heat gun. Don't get too close, don't make your paint bubble, obviously. Use a little common sense. When you get to it, just make sure it's lightly applied before removing the emblem. And remember not to leave it in one area at all times. Go back and forth. Again, you don't want your paint to get all cooked. Should be good. Set that aside, and I'm gonna take the squeegee thing and just get underneath it and slowly kind of go around it. You can already see it kind of moving. I prefer the fishing wire method, so use that if you have some. You might need a higher strength just in case. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so again, being very careful. You can see all the junk that's been left behind from driving all the miles and stuff. But you can see on the OEM emblems, you'll see the 2 tabs right here, and it's going to be the same for the Pony. You'll see the 2 holes. That's obviously where you're going to be drilling on the deck lid. Once you get the emblem off, you're going to have to remove the excess adhesive from both the car and the emblem before reusing it. Obviously, if you are not reusing the emblem and you're wanting to do it blank slate, no emblem on the back, you don't have to worry about that emblem. You can either save it, toss it in the trash, do whatever. But as of right now, we gotta clean this off. And make sure that the entire surface is clean as well. So once we actually get this removed, I'm gonna go back over with some waterless wash, clean the car off, make sure it's all clean and dry before actually trying to stick anything on. For us, I'm using a rubber wheel to remove the old excess adhesion. If you're using something like this, be light, be gentle. You don't wanna tear up the paint if you go too hard, too heavy in one area. Even though the deck lid panel is going to cover this, that's okay. Again, you still want to protect it at some point. But use this, and then if you also have like Goo Gone or anything like that, you might have to work at it a little bit longer than what we're using. Use compressed air to blow off any residue that you may have left over. If you are adding the badge back onto your car, you will eventually have to use the 3M adhesive that comes with the kit. So take the time to clean this off really good. Probably use some denatured alcohol to clean it off the bat. Just get rid of any sort of nasty, gross, just stuff in general on the emblem. So I'm gonna do that. I've been going at it with the rubber wheel for about 5 minutes now. It's in there, it's almost done. It is a pain, it's gonna take a little bit. Good thing is we do sell both the rubber wheel and the emblem on our website. So if you really don't want to go through all this, you can always buy a new one off our website. Be careful too, if you are doing this, don't bend it, because if you bend it, then you're really screwed. I got most of the adhesive off, pretty much using that rubber wheel and adhesive remover. Took a little bit of time, but get it as clean as possible as you can. You just don't want to have any leftover contaminants on here when you go back to reapply. We got some tape on here. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like without the actual badge. Obviously, this tape is not going to affect the paint. Don't worry about it. But this is just going to give y'all kind of a better look of what it's going to be like blank before we actually start drilling holes and putting it on the car. If you were planning on going blank, this is kind of what it's going to look like. So if you're going to be installing the deck lid without the emblem, you can skip this part because we're going to be drilling it. But for right now, what I'm going to do is the little dimple areas on the back side is where we're going to be drilling at. It makes it a lot easier so you don't have to really measure when doing this. It's already there for you, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a paint pen and kind of mark the little area for y'all to see a little bit better. But if you have this already, you'll see the markings on there. It also shows in the instruction manual. So looking at it, put it right there in the middle and right there on the middle as well. And so what I'm gonna do, instead of taking these 7/16 bit and drilling as is, I'm gonna take something smaller. Again, this is gonna make it a little bit easier. That way we're straight and even. And I'm gonna drill the hole from the back side. That way, if we do mess up ever so slightly, we haven't made the actual massive hole that we need for the emblem. Just to kind of show y'all, even though again, the hole is not at 7/16 yet, so I'm gonna put this up to it as a test fit, push it up in there, and taking the pick, put it right in, and it's going all the way through. Do it for the other side. That's all the way through as well. So I know we're lined up, we're good to go, so I can go ahead and drill out the rest. Now that we've test fitted, we know the hole's in the right alignment, we're gonna take the 7/16 drill bit and go ahead and cut the rest of the hole out. Probably could have drilled from the front, even though it tells you to do it from the back. You will have some of the paint kind of break up and come up right there, but when you take this piece and you actually test fit it on there, it's completely covered. Just make sure not to peel anything back. You can see now, it's gonna look great on the car. Now that we're ready to install the actual deck lid panel onto the car, what we're gonna do is test fit and mark the areas to make sure we have perfect alignment when putting this on the car. So I'm gonna get some blue painter's tape, put this back up onto the car, and start measuring out and making sure that everything is aligned perfectly before we start applying the 3M on the back side onto the car. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply the blackout liner. That's gonna eliminate all the coloring around the backup camera. Pretty easy, they say, to pretty much line it up with the backup camera. It's going to be pretty simple to do. You get two, you mess up the first one, you can do the second one as well. Tried the first one, did not go as planned. But we did learn a couple things. If you move it high enough, you can cover all the color. The problem is once you go too high, then it goes up and above where the deck lid is going to sit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this a little bit. That way when I relayer it on there, you won't be able to see anything above the deck lid, and it's gonna cover everything that it needs to cover. I'm gonna take the heat gun again. I'm gonna go at it on the camera and the 3M vinyl. That way it kind of gives me a little bit of working room to make sure I get this just right. Burning my fingertips. Okay. Again, you wanna cover up as much of the color as you can without putting it on the camera. And if yours looks a little funky, again, use some heat, help it become easier to kind of move around, and then you can slowly apply on the outside. Ooh, that didn't take long. Okay. So, just be gentle, be careful, slowly work at it. Got it on, got it applied. Again, this is just want to be able to eliminate that color that you won't be able to see, or eliminate the color that will be surrounding the camera. So I chopped a little bit off. We'll test fit, see if we can see any of it. That is on all the way. So we're not seeing any tape above. We have all of the color covered up. I highly recommend dog earing all the different angles. Do that first and make sure to remove all of the 3M tape from underneath the backup camera. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to get back under there and pull it out. So make sure to remove that one completely. Make sure to use the heat gun to heat up the trunk and then also to the deck lid panel. You want to make sure both areas have a good warm temp to it so the adhesive sticks to the trunk. You'll then want to go through and apply the adhesion promoter that came with the kit. Make sure to apply it to all the spots that the 3M tape is going to make contact with. Once you have all that done, now's the time to lay it down and start removing the 3M tape. Move quickly because you don't want it to cool down or dry up before you do. So move as fast and as quick as possible. When you're doing this, it'd be nice to have a friend to help. That way, both of you can tag team this and get it done a lot quicker. Take this time to clean up the deck lid panel. Make sure everything's clean, and then we'll move on to the process of installing the emblem. So now that we have the deck panel on, if you are installing the Pony or GT emblem, it's going to be the same process for this. What we're going to do is we're going to test fit, get it where we need it, and we're going to use some blue painter's tape to mask off where it needs to be exactly before we take it back out. So take some time to make sure it looks good, right location and everything. You don't want it to be angled or anything like that. Now that we have the emblem on the car, test fitted, and all the painter's tape applied, we now know where it needs to sit. Now is the time to remove the emblem, and you're going to add the adhesive to the backing of the emblem. Before installing, make sure to wipe down the area with the alcohol pad and the adhesive promoter. Make sure to also use alcohol pad to wipe down the emblem as well. We've got the double-sided tape put onto the emblem. If you're reading your instruction manual and it says to pull the white off, and then apply, and you're gonna have the red side facing out, it wasn't like that for us. After studying it, going over it, realized instructions have it backwards. You gotta pull the red off, put that side on, and you'll have the white part exposed. It might vary, the instructions might change, the packaging might change. We don't know. Just make sure to look at it before you actually do anything and just double check to make sure, because you don't want to be pulling this off and realizing, oh, I have the wrong side peeled. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to have last post, the bottom post exposed. These two are cut, that way it's ready to start peeling and working on it. Take your packet of adhesive promoter and start adding this to the car before putting the decal back on the car. Apply 30 seconds of pressure to each points of the GT or Pony badge. Just make sure light pressure added. Okay. Once you have that, you can go ahead and remove the tape. Once that's done, you can go ahead and clean up the deck lid panel, any of the other areas surrounding it, and you are good to go. All right, everyone, that's going to be the installation process of the deck lid trim panel. Overall, this is a great piece for the rear end of your S650 Mustang. It really breaks up that paint color, especially if you have maybe a yellow or blue car. Really just adds that extra level of design to the car that most of y'all might be chasing. I highly recommend it, and overall, it looks great. Again, you can also do this with or without the emblem, so the choice is up to you. Personally, I like the emblem on there. It looks really good. Takes a little bit of time to do it, but I think it really fits the car just right. But other than that, that's going to be it from us today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And for all things S650 Mustang, keep it right here with the real Mustang enthusiast, LMR.com.